Hey, listen up, I said, slap yourself. Due to the embarrassment, Xian raised his voice and commanded again. With a loud smack, another slap was delivered to Xian's face. Several teeth were smacked out of his mouth. While he was chubby, his swollen cheek was even more rounder. The clear outline of a palm was visible on his cheek. Eleanor and Ezra were stunned. The others around them were no better. None of them knew what was going on. Didn't Xian claim that Dustin would obey his every command? Why was he acting out of turn now? God damn it. Are you fucking deaf? Xian wiped the blood away and roared frustratedly. I fucking asked you to slap yourself, not me, you twat. Smack. Without another moment to lose, Dustin gave him another hard slap. Dustin slapped him so hard that Xian spun around twice before falling and planting his face into the ground. Are you purposely going against me, dipshit? I'll teach you a fucking lesson. After Xian got back to his feet, he grabbed a wine bottle off the table and was about to bring it down on Dustin's head. But before he could do so, Dustin gave him another slap. Xian saw stars. You fucking dash. Slap. Son of a dash. Slap. I'll fucking dash. Slap. Xian received a slap on his face with every word that he said. In the end, his face was swollen and bruised. It was quite an unpleasant sight. He had no choice but to cower on the ground, protecting his head with his hands. He groaned and begged for mercy. Stop. Stop. I was wrong. Please stop. Dustin didn't seem to hear him. With his eyes still closed, he continued throwing kicks and punches at Xian. It was as though he was possessed. Quick. Stop him. Seeing that things were getting out of hand, Ezra swiftly ordered some of the men to stop Dustin. But they had barely reached Dustin when they were all sent flying by Dustin's slaps. Those who tried to stop him ended up sprawled out on the ground. The place was in utter chaos. Damn it. What's going on? Has he gone mad? Ezra's brows were tightly knit as he looked at Dustin, who looked like he had been possessed. But Ezra dared not go near him because he was afraid he'd be slapped too. Ezra quickly shouted, Xian, the guy's gone mad. Quick. Break the spell. Terminate. Xian promptly tore the talisman off Dustin's chest as he endured the immense pain he was in. The next moment, Dustin shuddered and stopped moving. Everyone let out a long sigh of relief. It was finally over. Damn it. The bastard truly had the strength of a bull once he lost control. No ordinary man could hold him back. What happened? After taking several deep breaths, Dustin slowly opened his eyes. With a look of confusion on his face, he asked, what just happened? He looked around him, looking bewildered. Hey! What happened to all your faces? The few young men who had been slapped gritted their teeth in annoyance. Though they were fuming inwardly, they couldn't say anything. They could only act as though nothing had happened. Hey, Mr. Croc, why are you so badly hurt? Dustin was shocked when he looked down and saw Xian's busted-up face. He immediately went forward to help him up. He even asked caringly, who beat you up? The person really didn't hold back, did he? Look what he did to your charming face. This is terrible. Xian's lips twitched, and his tears began falling uncontrollably. He actually cried from being beaten up. Damn it. It was too irritating. Had anyone slapped him under normal circumstances, he'd have lost his temper. But this time, he had been the one who had used an occult spell on Dustin and even lost control over him. That was the reason they had ended up in such a sorry state. To put it simply, he had been the one who brought this upon them. He had no one else but himself to blame. Why are you crying, Mr. Croc? Here, let me wipe your tears away. Dustin pulled a couple pieces of tissues and was about to wipe Xian's tears away. Get lost. Stay away from me. Xian swiftly backed away from Dustin, covering his face like a scared child. He had been traumatized by the series of slaps he'd received. What's wrong? Dustin pretended to be baffled. Why are you all looking at me like that? What exactly happened? Eleanor coughed awkwardly with a weird expression. Dustin, Xian controlled you by using one of his occult spells. But he ended up losing control over you. Somehow, you seem to have gone berserk and started beating him up. What? Lost control? I went berserk. Dustin was momentarily stunned as he feigned surprise. No way. So I was the one who caused all these bruises on Mr. Croc's face? That's right. Eleanor nodded. No wonder. No wonder my hand hurts so much now. Dustin rubbed his palms together. Then, he turned to Sheehan and said earnestly, Mr. Croc, if you haven't mastered the technique, then you shouldn't have used it. Look what you've done now. How could you have lost control over me? Oh, forget it. Guess we'll just have to take what happened today as a lesson. Dustin sighed. You fuck. Sheehan flew into a rage and was about to start shouting at Dustin. But when he opened his mouth, his teeth began to fall out one by one. He was so terrified that he immediately covered his mouth with his hands. He was afraid that he'd lose what remaining teeth he had left. All right, that's it for today. Eleanor stood up slowly, glanced at Ezra, and deliberately said, I'm going to have lunch with Dustin. We'll get going now. You guys have fun. As she said that, she held Dustin's arm and sashayed out of the VIP room. The people left behind looked at each other, upset. The good mood earlier had been ruined completely. Sheehan, how are you feeling? Are you all right? Ezra checked his injuries and realized that Sheehan was in bad shape. His face had been disfigured. Originally, he was already not good looking, but now he looked worse. Fuck. That bastard was vicious. I've never been humiliated this badly. Sheehan gritted his remaining teeth in anger. I just wanted you to play a trick on that guy. Who knew you'd be embarrassing yourself instead? Ezra shook his head. Sheehan shouldn't have embarrassed himself by showing off if he wasn't that skilled. That's weird. The occult spells that I used to control others would always work. I don't know why it wasn't working this time. Sheehan frowned, lost in thoughts. Was it possible that that Dustin guy was just acting? Susie suddenly piped up. Acting? Everyone turned to look at her when she said that. I think it's weird. Even if he lost control, he wouldn't just hit Mr. Croc only, would he? Susie explained. That's possible. Ezra touched his chin and said thoughtfully. That guy looked simple, but is quite cunning. I don't think we can deny the possibility of him acting. Are you serious? Sheehan frowned. My occult spells have never failed. Sir Crane said that if they are not practicing the same craft, they wouldn't be able to resist it. Nothing is absolute. Maybe that guy has something up his sleeves. Ezra narrowed his eyes. Sheehan, think about it. Why would a normal person willingly become a lab rat? Instead of refusing, he gladly accepted the request. Don't you think it's weird? Now that you've said it, there's something fishy about it. Sheehan began thinking about it seriously. Oakvale was a gathering place for the best of the best from all walks of life. There might be some people with extraordinary talents in the city. He could run into someone who was practicing the same craft. Sheehan, I think we've been viciously pranked today. If we don't get back at him, where would we stand in the eyes of others? Ezra's expression became grim. Fuck. I swear I'll get back at him. Sheehan slammed the table angrily. Due to his big movements, he aggravated his injuries, and it stung painfully. Dustin seems to be very important to Ms. Welsh. I don't think it's an easy task if we want to get back at him, Susie said. Eleanor is indeed a troublesome person. But we can always do it secretly. Ezra sneered. He's just a boy toy. He's powerless. If we get rid of him quietly, we won't get into trouble. That's right. Eleanor can only protect him for now, not forever. I'll kill him sooner or later, Sheehan said maliciously. Sheehan, to pull the wool over their eyes, it'd be best to get Sir Crane to help us. With his ability, I think he'd be able to get it done easily, Ezra suggested. No problem. I'll contact him right away. I'll make sure that guy dies a horrible death within the next 3 days. Sheehan's eyes gleamed evilly. After all, he was from the Croc family. If he didn't make an example out of Dustin, his reputation would be down the drain. How dare he try to steal my woman? He's asking for death. Ezra smirked. Ha ha ha. Dustin, I almost died laughing when you started slapping Sheehan. Granted that he's fat, but he looked so swollen.